Ladies and gentlemen, life is not built on reactions. It is constructed through strategy. It's easy to let anger or fear decide for you, but that only hands over your future to chaos. The strongest people are not the loudest in the room. They are the ones who can pause, think, and still choose power over impulse. Are you moving with strategy or emotion? Emotion is an undeniable force. It fuels our passions and drives us to chase what we believe in. But when emotion becomes our sole compass, we risk being consumed by it. Passion without direction becomes like wildfire, beautiful and powerful, but uncontrollable and destructive. Impulsive decisions, unnecessary conflicts, and regretful outcomes often arise from acting purely out of emotion. This is why it is crucial to respect your emotions without letting them control you. Emotion ignites action, but strategy gives that action direction. Without a plan, even the strongest drive can become self-sabotaging. Many believe that showing emotion means they care more, but true care is about being smart with your energy. It's about thinking long-term. Even when your heart is screaming for immediate gratification, strategy doesn't mute your emotions. It organizes them. It takes your passion and turns it into purpose. True strength lies in the ability to choose peace over proving a point, to pause before reacting. Emotions are temporary, but strategy helps you maintain focus on the bigger picture. It's like driving a car with GPS. The emotions may urge you to take a detour, but strategy ensures you stay on course. Think about the energy it takes to sprint in circles. It's exhausting, yet you're not getting anywhere. Emotion may get you moving, but only strategy will lead you to something meaningful. Every successful journey begins with emotion, yes, but it is sustained by discipline and clarity. The people who rise aren't the most emotional, they are the most intentional. Their moves aren't random bursts of inspiration, they are deliberate steps along a chosen path. Strategy doesn't just help you move, it helps you make progress. Movement without direction is just activity, but progress requires thought, planning, and patience. When we allow our emotions to lead, we end up being tossed around by every high and low. But when you move with strategy, you become unshakable. Strategy isn't about suppressing your emotions. It's about responding with intention rather than reacting in haste. Life will test you, provoke you, and give you every reason to act out of frustration or insecurity. Power lies in restraint, the ability to think clearly in chaos, to prepare and anticipate what's ahead. It's about knowing when to hold back and when to strike. People respect those who respond with thought and confidence, not those who simply react. Strategy allows you to anticipate the next move, making sure your steps are purposeful and not driven by fleeting emotions. You don't need to be the loudest to be the strongest. Silence with a plan is far more powerful than noise without direction. Too many people fail not because they lacked emotion, but because they lacked a plan. Talent is common, discipline is rare. Motivation fades, but consistency keeps you moving forward. Strategy is your blueprint when things fall apart, your voice when everything else is drowned out. It's the reminder of your goals when your emotions beg you to quit. Life, career, and legacy aren't built by chance. They are the result of strategic decisions made every day. This doesn't mean ignoring your emotions. It means leading them with a clear purpose. Emotion is not a weakness. It's a force that fuels us. But without strategy, it becomes a fire that consumes everything in its path. Emotional people often burn out or break down, but those who move with strategy build resilience. They bounce back faster, not because they suppress their feelings, but because their actions are calculated. When you learn to move with strategy, you stop being controlled by every impulse. You start making decisions based on wisdom, not on how you feel in the moment. That kind of emotional mastery doesn't come from avoiding feelings, but from learning how to channel them effectively. Emotion informs us, but strategy directs us. In life, there's a significant difference between reacting and responding. Reacting is impulsive, driven by emotion. Responding, however, is deliberate, rooted in clarity. It's easy to be caught in the moment, swept away by feelings of anger, fear, or sadness. But strategy creates the space between emotion and action. When you give yourself that space, you regain control. You stop running in circles, trying to manage your emotional outbursts. Instead, you become a master of your own behavior, responding thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. That space of strategic detachment is where real power resides. Strategy doesn't just move you forward, it moves you with purpose. Every step you take is a step closer to your goals. Emotion may help you start, but strategy ensures you stay on the right path. It helps you recognize distractions and filter out noise. When your actions align with your goals, you stop chasing everything that comes your way. You become focused, intentional, and unshakable in your pursuit. Progress becomes more than just activity. It becomes a journey towards something meaningful. This is where confidence is born, when your actions are tied to your vision, not just your moods. There's strength in restraint. When your emotions don't rule you, you become the one in control. Life will always test you. It will try to provoke your insecurities, challenge your peace, and push you to react. But real power lies in the ability to pause, reflect, and respond with intention. Emotional control is not about being unemotional. It's about choosing your responses wisely. The most powerful people in the world are not those who react instantly to every trigger. They are those who take a moment, process, and then act in alignment with their values. The world respects those who know when to speak and when to remain silent. Emotional control allows you to respond, not react. Reactions are often impulsive and led by emotion, while responses are thoughtful, calculated, and deliberate. When you learn to detach yourself from immediate reactions, you gain control over your actions. This shift in thinking helps you move from chaos to clarity. You stop reacting to every external trigger and start responding from a place of wisdom and emotional intelligence. The more you practice this shift, the more empowered you become, not just in your decisions, but in every aspect of your life. In moments of intense emotion, it's easy to lose sight of your goals. But when you practice detachment, you create the space between feeling and reacting. This space is where clarity lives, where the fog of emotion clears and allows you to see the bigger picture. Detachment doesn't mean you stop feeling. It means you no longer let those feelings control your decisions. Strategic detachment allows you to assess your emotions objectively, deciding whether they align with your vision or are just temporary disturbances. This practice protects your energy, preserves your peace, and ensures that your actions are always aligned with your long-term goals. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is remain silent. In a world where everyone is shouting to be heard, silence becomes an act of power. When you hold back your immediate reactions and choose to remain calm, you show strength that words could never express. Silence is not weakness. It's the quiet force of someone who is in complete control of their emotions. Strategic silence can turn a moment of potential conflict into an opportunity for clarity. It creates room for thought, space for reflection, and allows you to make decisions from a place of wisdom. When your silence speaks for you, it commands respect, even without a word being uttered. Learning to control your emotional responses is one of the most empowering skills you can develop. Emotional control doesn't mean suppressing what you feel, but understanding the timing and the appropriate reaction. Every situation requires different responses, and not every moment demands an emotional reaction. By mastering your emotional responses, you avoid reacting out of frustration, fear, or anger. Instead, you choose responses that serve your long-term goals. This mastery comes from practice, awareness, and emotional intelligence, which over time helps you make decisions that support your bigger picture. Power is often mistaken for loudness, but true power comes from quiet strength. The most powerful individuals are not those who demand attention, but those who quietly control the room with their focus and intentionality. Strategy doesn't need to shout. It speaks through calculated actions and thoughtful responses. When you are strategic in your approach to life, you don't need to explain yourself. Your actions, your results, and your presence speak for you. Strategy is the key that unlocks this quiet power, allowing you to navigate life with confidence and grace. Resilience is built through intentional, strategic moves, not impulsive reactions. When setbacks occur, it's easy to get caught up in the emotional turmoil. But those who rise above know that every challenge is an opportunity for growth. They don't allow setbacks to derail them. Instead, they use them as stepping stones toward their bigger vision. Resilience doesn't come from reacting to every challenge with intensity. It comes from understanding the challenge, developing a plan, and using that experience to build strength. Strategy is what helps you bounce back faster and keeps you on track, even in the face of adversity. There's a significant difference between being busy and being productive. Moving around aimlessly can feel like progress, but without strategy, it's just movement. Emotion might propel you into action, but only strategy will turn that energy into progress. Think about running in circles. You use energy, but you go nowhere. Strategy helps you channel that energy into something meaningful, making every step you take a step forward. It's about making progress, not just moving for the sake of it. When your actions are intentional and aligned with your goals, you build momentum instead of just expending energy. When emotions run high, clarity often fades. It's easy to make rash decisions when you're caught up in your feelings. But those decisions rarely lead to the outcomes you want. Strategy brings clarity in the midst of chaos. It helps you step back, evaluate the situation, and decide on the best course of action. Strategic thinking allows you to cut through the emotional noise and focus on what truly matters. It's the difference between reacting on impulse and making decisions from a place of calm, thoughtfulness, and purpose. Clarity doesn't come from emotional outbursts. It comes from the quiet strength of a clear mind guided by strategy. Emotional control is the foundation of effective decision-making. When your emotions are in control, you can think more clearly and make better choices. Without emotional control, every decision becomes clouded by the noise of fear, frustration, or desire. But with strategy, you have the power to make decisions that align with your values and your vision. This kind of control doesn't come naturally. It requires practice, awareness, and self-discipline. But once you master it, you'll find that your decisions are more effective, your actions more aligned with your goals, and your life more focused on what truly matters. Life will always challenge you, testing your patience, your focus, and your peace. The people and circumstances around you will try to pull you into drama and chaos. But the strategic person knows how to respond, not react. Responding with intent means choosing your actions based on your vision and values. It's about staying true to your purpose and not letting temporary distractions steer you off course. When you respond instead of react, you maintain control over your life. Every decision, every action becomes a deliberate move toward your bigger picture. When you live with a bigger vision in mind, every action becomes purposeful. Strategy helps you align your daily actions with your long-term goals, ensuring that every step you take moves you closer to your vision. It's about seeing the big picture and making decisions that support that larger vision, even when your emotions might tell you to act impulsively. Having a bigger vision gives you clarity, focus, and the strength to overcome challenges. When you're guided by strategy, you stop chasing every distraction. Instead, you stay focused on what matters, and that focus is what propels you towards success. One of the key elements of strategy is knowing which battles to fight. Not every confrontation requires your energy. Emotional people tend to react to everything, trying to prove their point or defend their honor at every turn. But strategic individuals know that not every argument is worth engaging in. Choosing the right battles is a form of emotional maturity. It's about reserving your energy for the things that align with your goals. You don't waste time on distractions or fight battles that don't move you closer to your vision. Strategy allows you to preserve your power for what truly matters, making your actions more impactful. Emotions are powerful signals that indicate what's important to us, but they should never be the dictators of our actions. Instead, let your emotions guide you to what matters, and then let strategy create the path to get there. Emotion can highlight your passions, but strategy provides the map. It's important to feel deeply, but it's even more important to channel those feelings into deliberate action. Emotional intelligence is knowing how to use your emotions as tools to propel you forward without letting them hijack your decisions. Resilience isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. It comes from having a plan, preparing for setbacks, and learning how to pivot when things don't go as expected. Without strategy, it's easy to get knocked down by life's challenges. But when you have a clear plan and the emotional discipline to stick to it, you bounce back stronger. Every time you face a setback, strategy helps you assess, adjust, and move forward. You don't let frustration or disappointment derail you, because your path is already mapped out. Resilience comes from knowing that setbacks are part of the journey, and strategy helps you turn them into opportunities for growth. Peace is priceless, and strategy is one of the best ways to protect it. Life can throw chaos at you, but when you move with strategy, you don't let the noise and distractions pull you in. Strategy allows you to stay calm, focused, and in control, even when everything around you is in turmoil. When you act strategically, your peace remains intact. You don't let temporary emotions or external pressures dictate your mood or actions. Strategy is your safeguard against stress, anxiety, and emotional burnout, ensuring that you stay on course, no matter what's happening around you. Strategy doesn't just help you survive, it helps you thrive. When your emotions and actions are aligned with your vision, you move with purpose, clarity, and confidence. The most successful people are those who know how to harness their emotions without letting them control their lives. They have a plan, they stick to it, and they rise above the noise. If you want to stop reacting to life and start creating it, begin by moving with strategy. Plan your steps, align your actions with your goals, and take control of your future. If you found this video inspiring, give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more content that empowers you to take charge of your life with purpose.